Dear viewers, today I'll be considering fraction. Let's look at fraction and how to solve some certain things in fraction. Now we're going to look at some tricks in fractions. So now meanwhile, today I'll be looking at some tricks in fraction, and we'll be looking at tricks under mixed fraction plus normal fraction, just a simple, just a normal fraction. And the second thing we're going to be looking at here, we're going to be considering mixed fraction to what? Mixed fraction. The third one, we're going to be looking at just fraction to what? Fraction. So let's get started. So now there are some simple tricks in fractions that I would like to share with us today. Now the tricks, let's look at this now. When you are given a fraction like, let's say 3 whole number 2 all over 5, this fraction I will see over here is the same thing as saying what? This is what? 3 plus 2 all over 5. Now this can be proven. Now I said that this here, this fraction is the same as this. So whenever you're given this fraction like this, in this form, you can easily split it into something like this. That is a math trick for it to enable you solve. Now for example, let's say we're given a question like, we're given something like, let's say 3 whole number 2 over 5 plus, let's say 2 1 over 4. Now this is a question we're given. Now to solve it more easily, it's very good if we can be able to split it to 3 plus 2 all over 5, then plus, we split the next one, that is 2 plus what? 1 over 4. Now there is something we go up to do from here. Now once you want to add this up now, the whole number part adds to the whole number part, while the fraction part adds to the fraction part. Now see what I'm saying here. So now the whole number part adds to the whole number part. Now this is what we now have. So this is 3 plus 2, then plus the fractions now, 2 over 5, and then plus what? 1 over what? 4. Now this makes it more easier for us to solve. Now let's add up these two. When we add up these two, we got 5 plus. Now let's work this out. Now when you're dealing with fraction and they have unlike denominators, now you multiply the down one and then multiply it like this again. So what do I mean by that? From here now, what we have here is 5 times 4 is the denominator of this one. 5 times 4 gives us what? 20 here. 20. Then up here we have it at 2 with times 4, that is 8. Plus what? 5 with times 1, that is what? 5. Now from here we have it to be 8 plus 5 is equal to what? 8 plus 5 gives us what? 13 all over 20. So this now we're adding it up with this. So when we have 5 plus 13 all over 20 is the same as 5 whole number 13 all over what? 20, period. So this is a simple math trick on fraction. So this is how to solve some things like this in just a few steps. Now this is just, we have step 1 here, step 2 here, step 3 here, right? We have step 4. Look at just the simple steps and we'll get it up to the answer, and that's right. So like I said, this is just easy steps or trick to solving fraction. Now let's take another example. Let's say if you're given a fraction, let's say two fractions. Let's say you're given a 1 over 2 plus, let's say 3 whole number 2 all over 5. Now you are given fraction like this with like denominators. So it's very easy. What to do from here is that what? Now looking at this, what do we do to the first one here? This first one over here, we split them. When we split it apart, now we have this down 3 what plus 2 all over 5. You can solve it using another method, you still get it. Plus 3 over 5, and this is now, let's bring out this 1 over 2, then plus. So what we do from here is the fraction part adds to fraction. These are the fraction parts. The fraction part adds up while the whole number part adds up. Now in this question, now we only have one whole number part, so let's drop the whole number part here plus. Now let's add up the fraction part, 1 over 2 plus the other fraction part, that is 2 all over what? 5. So this is what we have. So from here we work with the fraction parts, Now what do we do from here? We multiply this since they are unlike denominators, and we still multiply it like this. We have two multiplication here, and then this is what we have. Now we have it to that when we multiply it, we get this is the denominator multiplies. We have 2 times 5 gives us what? 10. This is 10 here. Now the up on this 2 times 2 up here, that is 4. Then 1 times 5 is what? 5. Now let's add them up. When we add them up, we're getting 5 plus 4, that is 9 all over what? 10. So this is same as saying that let's now work with this now. This is 3 plus what we have here. Now once we have this now, we have it to be what? This is 3 plus 9 all over 10. And I say when we have 3 plus 9 over 10, it is the same thing as saying what? 3 whole number 9 all over what? 10. So this is a simple math trick. Now meanwhile, let's solve this question we have so far. Let's solve it using another method. But remember, if we have like denominators, assuming we have something like 2 over 4 over 9 plus let's say 8 whole number 4 over 9. Are you getting it now? So when we have like denominators, we only pick one of the denominator and solve with it. The same thing. Now first of all, we split up this fraction here, and then from here we have a 2 part of it. We split it into 8 what plus 9. I mean, let's take this to be what? 2 over 9. Let's make it 4 over 9 here. Now let's say this now 4 all over 9, and let's bring this one down to be what? 2 over what? 9. So this is what we have. So from here now, the same thing we do. Fraction part adds with fraction part, while whole number part stays apart. Now this is addition first. So now having this like this, we have this now is this now 8 plus. Now the fraction part adds. Now what do? We pick one of the denominator, that is 9 all over what? We have 9 times 9 into 9 is 1. Okay, that is, since the denominator is 1. So what we'll do from here is we'll now say, okay, now 9 we multiply 1 will multiply 9 up here. So this what? 9. Now this is still 1. 1 multiplied by 2 up here is going to give us what? 2. Okay. Or in another way, you can still 9 times 9 you get 81, or you can say 9 times 2 you get 18. But since the denominators are the same, if you pick one of the denominators, you make it to be 1. You multiply the ones up there by just 1. Are we getting now? You just add them up. So this is now 2 plus 9. So when we have 2 plus 9, we're having this to be 11 all over 9, right? And then we're having here to deal with now 8 to deal with to add with 11 over 9. So when we have this same as what? 8 plus 11 all over 9, and this is same as I told you 11 of 8 plus 11 over 9 is same as 8 whole number 11 all over what? 9. So this is what we got. Now let's solve this in the other way, that we'll have to convert into improper fraction, and then from improper fraction we'll now have to what? Solve it and get the answer. Now let's pick this question over here. The first question we solved here. This is the first question we solved here. Now this is the first question. Now let's use the other method to solve it. So now let's drop this question over here. Now when we have this question now, the normal way we always do it is that we have to convert them to improper fraction, and then from improper fraction we'll now solve it, and that is converted to improper fraction. Now let's look at this now. Now when we have something like this, normally what we do is that we convert these two first. We convert this, that is, we multiply 5, the denominator, by the whole number, and then we'll add it to the numerator. It's still correct. Okay, now let's say 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2, that is 15, that's 17 all over what? 5, right? And this is plus. Now let's look at this. This is now times, and this is what? Plus. Now 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1, that is 9 all over what? 4. And this is what we have. Now the next thing is to find the LCM of 5 and 4, and we multiply the both of them, and we get what? 20. Now when we have 20 now as the LCM, what we'll do next is that we now say, okay, 20 divided by 5. When we divide 20 by 5, we're having 4. 4 times 17 is going to give us 68. So we have here to be what? 68 plus. Now the next is 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4, we're having 5. 5 times 9 here will give us 45. So now we have it to be 45. Now when we add up these two things, we have 68 plus 45. Here we're having 8 plus 5 here is what? 13. 3 carry 1. Now we have 6 plus 4 here is 10 plus that one is what? 11 over what? 20. Now let's do this now. If we say 113 divided by 20, now look at this. Let's use long division. 113 divide by 20 is more like we're going to use this at once and then divide by 20. Now let's go by estimation. Let's estimate and see what we're going to get. Now let's try to say, let's say 20 times, let's say 20 times 4. Let's see what we get. If 20 times 4, we have this to be 0. 4 times 8, 2 should be 8 here. Now this is 80, right? Now what about, let's say something that is almost 113. Now let's say 20 times 5. 20 times what? Let's say 5. Now let's see, we're still doing estimation. This is 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 2 is what? 10. Now we're almost there. This is 100. What about 20 times 6? Let's see. This is 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 2 is 12. You see, we're almost there. This, okay, we're more than it now. This is more than. So we cannot use this. This one is more than, so we don't need it. So what we need in doing long division is we need something that is almost or exactly. So this is almost. So now what we have from here is that we have it to be what? If 113 divided by 20, we're having it to be what? 5 times only. We have it 5 times because 5 times 20 here is going to give us 100. Now when we subtract this, we'll be left with 3 minus 0. We have this is 3. This is 11 minus 10. We have it to be what? 1. Okay? Or let's say 1 minus 0 is 1. Then 1 cancels, right? So this is what 13. So at the final answer here, we have it to be what? 5 whole number. Now this is what? Equal to 5 whole number 13 all over what? 20. So this is what we have. Okay? So looking at this up down here, the same question, we solve it up here. Now this is what we have here. Now so looking at it here, this 5 whole number. Okay, now this is 13, not look at it here. We once got 13 here, so this is 13. Okay, now let's correct this is 13. Okay, so we'll find out that whether we use the both formula, both method, we're going to still get the same answer. But this method up here is a simpler method. Why not you try the next one? So when you try the next one, you tell us in the comment box what you got. Tell us the feedback, whether it is helpful. So thank you for watching my video. Do well to subscribe.